Our buddy FAN royalty, the man Joe. Joe, how I know you're on social media. I don't think that you peruse it like incessantly. No. Okay, but how are you navigating the emotional curveballs of Raider fans? Oh, Aaron Rodgers, at Pebble. Devontae Adams, I'm going to get my guy. Like, it's a hard spot. You got to sit through this. How you deal with it, Joe?
Well, I mean, I don't expect it to happen. It's very easy to deal with. When you're a Jet fan for almost 60 years, as I always say this, expect the worst, you're never disappointed. Not for a second do I think we're getting Aaron Rodgers. Now, every one of my buddies, bro, he's coming. Wake me up when he's here. That's my feeling.
What do you think is going to happen, Joe?
What do I think's going to happen? I think we're going to wind up with Derek Carr.
And how would you feel about that?
Yeah, exactly. Are you okay with that?
It's okay. I mean, I'll it's the kind of a consolation prize, but yeah, I'll live with it. I kind of expect it. You know what I mean? I'm expecting that.
Yeah.
So if I get Aaron Rodgers, then I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, but he won the skills competition at the Pro Bowl this weekend. So.
Oh, did he, Derek Carr?
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah.
he
I was watching.
Rodgers won the Pro-Am golf. He won it.
Oh, I saw Rodgers. Let me tell you something. I watched a lot of him. He made some stellar shots.
Oh, he can play.
He can play.
Joe, the Kyrie Irving situation. You've been
disgrace.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me just set it up. Mm-hmm. You've been on the Kyrie Irving. You've been on the New York sports scene for a while. Give me a more confounding, frustrating, player personality than Kyrie.
Wow. You kind of put me on a spot here. Somebody more confounding.
A great player, but not reliable. And maybe you say Doc or Darryl with the drugs, even though Kyrie's not involved. But however you take that question, go wherever you want to go with it. But he's on the short list is the point.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't put Doc or Darryl there because those guys played. You say whatever you want. I mean, Doc still had a long career with the Mets. Darryl played with the Mets from, 84 through 90. And, didn't really miss a lot of time, I guess, in 85 when he broke his thumb. But, I mean, so those guys played no matter what the situation was going on off the field. It's really hard to think of any. To be honest with you, I can't remember anybody who was immersed in controversy more than Kyrie Irving has been. I mean, it's just every time you turn around, it's something. It's really amazing.
It is, but it's also, it kind of now starts to put the focus on the general manager and Sean Barks. And some people are saying he can be absolved of this. He took his shot. It just didn't work out. Others saying he should be fired for this, right? As you think about the Nets, who were building a little bit of something, not like they were going to win a championship, but at least it felt organic. And then they try to take the shortcut. It blows up in their face. Like, how should we evaluate the organization and those that are in charge of it?
Well, let me start with this. Thank God the Knicks didn't get Kevin Durant. Let's start with that. Could you imagine the disaster? This is nothing as compared to what it would be if the Knicks were in the situation that the Nets are in now.
Yeah.
Forget it. They'd be hammering everybody, Dolan. Oh, my God, it would be unbelievable what would be going on if it was the Knicks. Look, they got in bed with Durant. Okay, let's start, because really, to me, it's all about Durant. Let's tell it like it is. The guy never plays. Let's start with that. The guy's hurt all the time. They make the deal for him. He doesn't play for an entire first year. They get close to second year, right? The next year, he misses, how many games does he miss? 20 games or whatever it is. They lose 18 out of the 20. They get whacked in the first round of the playoffs. Then, finally, it looks like, okay, wow, year 4, it's going to finally happen. The team is rolling. Jock Vaughn comes in. They win 18 out of 20. You're thinking they got a great shot to win the NBA title. And then what happens? Durant gets hurt, of course. And then the next thing that happens, the sky falls out with Kyrie. Look, I mean, it's been brutal. I mean, if I'm a Net fan, I couldn't be more aggravated than I am.
But who do
right
you
now.
blame? Who do you blame here? Is this just chalking it up to the players being, I don't know, mercurial? Or who do you blame here?
Who do I blame? It's hard to blame management because they were shooting for the moon. I mean, let's be real. I mean, they were shooting for the moon, but you know what? They got. I'll put it this way: they got in bed with the wrong guys.
Well,
say whatever you want. I mean, Durant. Here's another thing about Durant. This guy had to team up with a ready-made championship team in Golden State with Curry and Thompson and these guys to win a title. He couldn't win when he was the lead guy in Oklahoma City. He had Harden. He had Westbrook. He can't win now because with this team. He's always hurt. When he's not, they can't win anyway. I mean, really?
Yeah, but Joe, and by the way,
I got
is-
issues with Durant. I'm sorry.
No, I do too, but different type of energy than the ones that I have with Kyrie. The difference with Kevin Durant is, now listen, it's not his fault that the Nets bestowed this contract on him when his Achilles was still healing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
See, to me, I've got to have real distinction and separation between how I look at Durant versus Kyrie. The things that Kevin Durant can control, he handles incredibly well. The things that Kyrie Irving can control, he bombs on.
Right.
Like Kevin Durant, if Kevin Durant's healthy, Kevin Durant's going out and dropping 35, and he's not an ounce of distraction. Kyrie is the exact opposite. I can't even lump him in the same conversation, Joe. That's not fair.
No, look, I'm not saying that. I'm not. But, I mean, it's all part and parcel of what Kevin Durant wants. I mean, really. Go through the whole thing. He got Kenny Atkinson fired. Let's be honest. He got Atkinson fired. He brings in this absolute disaster of a head coach in Steve Nash, who has no clue what he's doing, all right? They get lucky that Nash finally goes. They get him out. Okay, we've had enough of him now. Let's blame him and get rid of him. And then, they bring in – Vaughn comes in. He's actually doing a real good job. But also, they brought in Kyrie Irving to satisfy who? Kevin Durant. Let's be real. Right or wrong? Why is Kyrie Irving here? Tell me that.
Well, because you really have to.
Why was James Harden brought into the mix? Tell me why.
I will tell you and I don't love this.
Because they wanted to build another super team.
You need superstars to win the NBA championship, Joe. So they were going for it.
I get it, but it all starts with the number one guy, doesn't it? It starts with him.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
We see Kevin, and I'm not even a huge Durant. We see him a little differently.
He's basically the GM of the team.
But they've given him that power, Joe. But that's the Nets' fault.
Is it the Nets' fault or is it the league's fault?
Well, that's a different conversation. I think Silver's a bad commissioner. I don't think he's good at
terrible. Whoever thought that Gary Bettman would be the best commissioner in professional sports in this country?
Wow, interesting.
I mean, think about that.
Wow, yeah.
Goodell's a disaster. Forget it. He's a $30 million a year for this guy. Pete Rozelle is rolling over in his grave. It's unbelievable.
So Tagliabue.
I think it's like 50, by the way.
Well, not as great.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I shortchanged him 20
I think you did.
Sorry about that. Forget about the Manfred. What a joke he is. Oh, my God. No, it's Gary Bettman. I can't believe I'm saying
Joe,
that.
let me ask you this.
Yes.
The Knicks and the Nets have a conversation today, right? Mm-hmm. And the Knicks say, all right, we'll give you Randall, and we'll give you two players of the Toppin, Grimes, and a couple of ones.
For Durant?
Yeah, you doing it?
It's risky.
I understand that.
I'll tell you what, I probably wouldn't do it because I don't think they're going to win an NBA title anyway if they brought him in.
From the Knicks' point of view?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they're winning a championship. I just as soon stay the course they got now. I mean, look, they're not going to win a title. At least they're a competitive team. At least they're a team that's, hopefully can make that top six. They're definitely going to be in a play-in tournament. There's no doubt about it. But
yep.
I think Durant comes here. I think it's setting up for a disaster.
See,
really.
To me, there's the basketball perspective, and then there's the other stuff, which means a lot to me. Like, I just have a fundamental issue with anybody who doesn't want me the first time. That's why, people say, well, what if LeBron comes here? I don't want LeBron. I don't want they didn't want us when they were in their prime. I don't want them now.
By the way, aren't you sick and tired of hearing? I read something. I love Ian O'Connor. I love the guy. He's one of the best,
he's good.
Best writers there is. And he's going on about how much LeBron loves the Garden.
Who cares?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't love the
Who
Garden.
Cares?
He don't want to play here. Who's he kidding? He
I'm
wants to
with
come
you.
to the Garden
Joe,
and
it's
stick it up the Knicks.
It's
rear
one thing
end.
to love the Garden just because it's a historic venue. I like going down to Philly and playing in the Vet because I knew we did well in those days, but I hated it. I never wanted to play in the Vet.
I understand that.
That's the difference.
But you don't wax poetic about the Vet like LeBron's always waxing poetic about the MSG stage.
Yeah, no,
Come on.
If you wanted it so bad, you should have come.
Right.
Yeah, but he understands. He understands by doing that, it creates a headline.
Yeah,
Hey.
LeBron. My feeling on LeBron is he was afraid to come to New York because the pressure would be too much on him. He'd have to win here, and if he didn't, he'd get constantly.
And so was
criticized.
Kevin Durant. Durant was scared too. I said this. That's why Kevin Durant tweeted at me. I didn't even say scared. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
You and Durant are tight? I didn't know that.
No, he came at me a couple of years ago when he first came here, and I kept it respectful. I wasn't. I don't do that on social media. But he was offended. I basically said in a fairly respectful way, like, yo, nobody cares. And I didn't even address him. And nobody cares about the Nets. This is always going to be a Knicks town, and that's all there is to it. Right. And he's like, well, I just didn't. And he just parachuted into my mentions. He threw in, it was interesting. He's like, well, you didn't do what I want. I didn't do what you wanted me to do, so you hold the grudge. And then we went back and forth. I'm like, hey, man,
please.
I'm not even a big Carmelo Anthony fan. I'm like, at least he had the guts to step into the batter's
Carmelo
box
wanted to
and
come
take
here.
a swing on the big stage.
Say whatever you want about Carmelo. He wanted to be here, so I'll always have a warm place for him. He wasn't the greatest player, but he wanted to be here.
He did. That's the big difference. I'm with you.
Yep.
Joe, we got to let you go, but who are you going to ride with in the Super Bowl? Who you betting, Joe?
Boy, I tell you, how anticlimactic is the Super Bowl?
Why do you say that?
Oh, it's God.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Here's the deal. The problem with Super Bowl is for everybody but the hardcore football fan. You know what I mean? I mean, it really is. It's the NFL title game. That's what it should be, but they made it into something far more. I like the Chiefs getting the 1.5.
I like the Chiefs, too. I said that right. It's actually gone from 2. It's 1.5 here. It's changed a little bit.
I think Philly runs away with it.
Runs away with it?
Yeah, I do.
You think they're gonna get a lot of pressure on
Wow.
I'm calling him Durant. You think they're gonna have a lot of pressure on
Patty
Mahomes?
I do. I mean, they're a great defense for a reason. Then they're balanced. The Eagles are just balanced everywhere. And I know that they struggled to score in the red zone against the 49ers, but the 49ers have the best defense in football.
It's good.
So, I mean, I don't know. I could see this getting away from
really?
Kansas City.
You think they might get similar to what happened when they lost to Tampa Bay, where they basically got beat up in the second half?
They're not gonna frustrate Mahomes like the Bucs did. Remember that Bucs defense? We never talked about it because Brady was on the
right. No, they won the Super Bowl.
That's right. And it was Brady's. It was Brady's. Yeah, it was Brady's Super Bowl. But that Bucs defense was great. 2 years ago. So
they were.
I think the Eagles defense can be like that against Mahomes.
Wow.
So we'll see.
Yeah, Joe. When do you officially get excited about pitchers and catchers showing up?
Opening day, April 1st.
Not before that?
Nah, come on.
Yeah.
Wait, unless I'm not going down. If I was going down, maybe. Who cares?
I'm just asking.
Who cares? You know what I'm doing yesterday? This is how bad it is for me in my sports world, okay?
Yeah.
I'm watching the South Carolina-UConn women's college basketball game yesterday. I have to tell you. That's what I did. And then I watched Pebble Beach after that.
Well, that's it. I got you.
Isn't he, I don't leave right now?
No, Gino was there.
He's back?
Gino was coaching.
Got it.
When was the last time you swung a golf club, Joe? Have you gone down south?
I'm playing. I got a 118 tee time today.
Nice.
Where
I
you playing?
played last Monday. I played 4. You realize I played golf 4 times in January already.
Where have you played? The usual spots?
Paramus is open.
Okay.
I'm going there now. 118.
Nice.
All right,
Enjoy
man.
It. Hit
Hit him straight, Joe.
Supposed to be 60 on Friday. Did you see that?
I did see. I'm always looking. I'm a 10-day weather
Tell
snob.
Oliveira. Here's you. Get Oliveira. Get Spike. Say, look, it's going to be 60 on Friday. I got to play golf.
Yeah, okay.
off.
Yeah, listen, Joe.
Tiki can handle it alone,
No,
right?
no.
Tiki.
Hold on.
He needs to get out
the
there.
Friday
Come
before
on,
the Super
Oliveira,
Bowl.
do
Take it
the
off.
guy a favor, will you?
Wait, Joe,
Go
hold
for
on.
it.
Joe, it's a little different now. The last 4 or 5 years that you were on the air, you're telling everybody, I can't wait to retire. I can't wait to play golf. The Joe Benigno had a little different pull than I had. A little different, Joe. I can't be looking for that
Let me
stuff.
tell you right now, BT, if you think I had pull, you're getting pulled.
All right, Joe. Love you, buddy. Enjoy the game, man.
Enjoy the
See
weekend.
you guys. All the love.
Hit him well, Joe.
Yep.
Hit him well. Yeah, he's got now 4 times. Look at him.
That's pretty impressive considering how unpredictable it's been in January weather-wise.
Listen, he's become a grinder. Like, he loves to go out. He'll put the ski cap on, all because of Recco, all those years ago. Introduced him.
Is he any better?
He's gotten better,
That's what
absolutely.
matters. That's
His wife
all
is
that
still
matters.
better than he is.